Oh, how the turntables. Okay, so I'm gonna try to not make this super long-winded, but this is about me and owls. I don't like owls at all. It's not that I'm necessarily scared of the owls themselves, but I just don't want to be around them. I don't want to look at them. I don't want to hear them. Nothing. Okay, so the first thing that happened.
You just need to get it near your mouth a little bit.
So the first thing that happened, this mic literally smells like
It's probably because I spit. Talking to the top of it. I spit all over it. What do you want?
Okay.
Talking to the
I'm
top like
sorry.
this right here.
I'm sorry. Okay. So the first thing that happened was
What do you mean I'm yelling constantly?
I know. I thought it was funny. You should clean it that way. Okay, so the first thing that happened was when I was in elementary school, we went on a field trip to like a park or like a nature park or whatever. And as we were leaving, the paths in the park are only one way, so they're like really narrow and you can only go one way on them. So there's like 3 or 4 school buses, whatever, following each other, and the school bus in the front had an owl literally swoop in and kill itself on the windshield. It cracked the windshield. The owl is dead. Like, you can literally see where he impacted the windshield, and I'm in the bus behind the one that got hit, and they didn't have like tinted windows back then, so I could see straight through. So that really kind of bothered me. And then the second thing that happened was when my mom and dad divorced, I slept with my mom like in her bed for a while because I don't know, I didn't want to be alone. And so I'm sleeping, like I'm dead asleep, and she like reaches over to me like fast, and she's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Oh my God, what?" And she's like, "Listen, do you hear that? It sounds like a woman screaming." And in my mind, my little kid mind, I'm like, "Oh my God, my neighbors are getting murdered." And so I like put the pillow over my head and like plugged my ears and pretty much stayed like that until I fell asleep again. And then the next day is when my mom told me that it was an owl that was probably making that sound. So that's 2 bad experiences with owls. And then after that, it bothered me so much, I kept having these reoccurring nightmares. And I'm a very vivid dreamer, even to this day. I had this reoccurring nightmare probably at least 5 times. And it's where I was at my grandparents' house, and my grandfather is carrying me, like, I'm a kid, obviously, so he can carry me, and so, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I'm on his front, like, and...
Like hugging him.
Yeah, like hugging him, but he's, like,
Yeah, holding you.
holding me, yeah. And so that's how it is in my dream. And then this, like, person-sized owl comes up and takes me from my grandfather, and he takes me far above the trees and then drops me. And I drop all the way to the ground, and then I wake up. And so that happened a few times. And then, yeah, I mean, pretty much every time I've seen an owl since then, something bad will happen. Like, I can't even think of... The main one that's in my head right now is my mom. You didn't exactly tell it right, but we were in the McDonald's drive-thru, and the owl comes up and like snatches something out of the tree. It was fucking scary for me, and he had never seen me have a panic attack before, so I was like trying my hardest to keep my composure, And then the next day is when my mom died, which is just crazy. And yeah, so owls are definitely like a bad omen for me. It's not that I'm scared of them, but like I heard one a few months ago. I forget exactly how long ago it was, but since we moved into this house, I heard one while I was taking the dog out, and Hexie was out there with me, and I heard it, like, I mean, just very clearly. It sounded like it was like in one of the houses behind me, like really close. And so I freak out. I give the leash to Kevin, and I go inside, and I wash my hands, and I'm like trying not to have a panic attack. Like, I can feel myself starting to panic, and I'm like trying to keep it together because I still have not had a panic attack in front of him before. And I just couldn't. And I sat there and had a panic attack, but he held me for like a while. It was like 10 minutes or something around there, until I was okay and could, keep my composure a little bit better, which was really cute. But yeah, that's pretty much all my stories about owls. They're all bad. I have never had a good experience with an owl.
I'm the good owl.
At all.
I got an owl on my chest here.
That doesn't bother me. Like, seeing owls doesn't bother me. It's like the thought of what is gonna come afterwards is like what makes me panic, I guess. So yeah, that's my stories. Anyways.
Yeah, but see, we saw that one owl and it was all good.
Wow.
One here.
Oh, I didn't actually see it. I just heard it.
Yeah.
But still, yeah.
Still.
Nothing happened.
Look at that.
I was waiting for something to happen.
Isn't
like,
that good?
for a few days.
I know. Nothing happened.
I was seriously like waiting just for anything bad to happen, and nothing ever did. So that's like a good data point to go back to, like, oh, not something bad always happens. So whatever. All right, I'm gonna leave you guys to it. Love you, chat. Thanks for listening to me. Bye.
Bye, babe.
Bye.
Thanks for story time.
You're welcome. I love you.
Love you. All right. Pretty disturbing stuff, eh? Yeah, so she super don't like owls. Just not good. Clean the mic.